Well, happy Thanksgiving to you all from the Matt Ellipsis Show and all the little entities that I put together. I'm hoping that you all are enjoying this holiday, and as you get ready, Thanksgiving is the on ramp towards Christmas, New Year's. Oh my God, we're in another year now. the I wanted to kind of take this little time today to do this episode. This is I'm probably not gonna go over an hour, so um, hopefully you enjoyed this. And I want you to know that I enjoy bringing my content to you guys. It's I've been doing music for golly since I was 15 years old. Oh yeah, let me put this on my list. Yep, Okay, so I made a little list of things to talk about, and I've been doing music since I was 15 years old. You know, oh man, and so here I am. I'm 44 right now. In 2021, I'll be 45, and whatever that means to anybody, it's it's a big deal to me. And let me kind of let me sort of explain to you what I got going on right now, currently as I'm recording. So I have a slice of cake and some coffee, and I'm drinking out of a coffee mug that my children gave to me. I believe this was Father's Day of 2020 that they gave it to me. So um, it happens to have Donald Trump, Donald Trump's face on it, which I have no problem with Donald Trump personally. Like, obviously politically, I did not care for him, you know, but a lot of people didn't care for him, so I'm not in a majority. And there are things that I've enjoyed about the Trump presidency, and so I want to take this hour not to talk about Trump because Lord knows there are so many people that talk about Trump. Um, I made a little list. Anyway, what I was saying is that I'm drinking out of a coffee mug that my children made for me, and matter of fact, let me put that down. The impact, yeah, the impact. So I piece of cake, some coffee. Right now, as I look at the clock on Thanksgiving Day, 2020, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. Me recording this, and my desire is to try to make this recording be available by 7, 8 o'clock. Um, you know, on Thanksgiving. So if you do listen to this on Thanksgiving, um, then you know you will have seen, it came straight from my lips, done the editing and put it out there. I'm testing myself to see how fast I can get an episode done. I know I can get an episode done fast. Um I'm not even using my best quality right now. I'm using a smartphone that cost me uh, $0 because I went to Cricket and got this free phone and set up the plan. I think it was a $25 activation, and then $50 a month or something like that at the time. And so this phone that I'm recording on, I got it for free based on my plan. They were just getting rid of these phones because it's not the best phone in the world, but I love smartphones. And let me say this, that um, one of the things for my ministry, that if you have old smartphones, that you can go and take them to Walmart and you can get a few dollars for it. I got a buddy of mine, Travis. He was telling me, man, that multiple times they will go and get a loan for a phone from like U.S. Cellular or something like that, and then after a couple of months, they will go over to Walmart and get maybe $100, $200 for it, but they still got the loan that they're paying off. And Travis, he complains about, like, oh my God, I can't stand this. She got my U.S. Cellular credit messed up where I can't go in there and buy a phone. And based on that, so my thing is this: if you got phones that you want to get rid of, you can get rid of them that normal way. That's a way you can get rid of them or give them to somebody. Or you can choose the Matt Ellipsis Show, or at m3dots.com. One thing that I'm planning, that by the beginning of 2021, so I really want to have it done and set up before the end of this year, but making it so that I have I give you guys an address where you can mail these smartphones to, or what I'm saying, if you've got a smartphone that you want to get rid of, you can send me an email, or send me something to let me know that it's coming so I can look out for it. And then I'll look out for it. And if you do that, then I'm gonna give you something. I want to be able to give you, whether it's tickets to a show, or give you, my album, or give you, if there's something, if you want to advertise on my show, you can do it for no charge. Especially if you give me a smartphone that I can utilize to do little stuff that I'm doing, like this. I gotta hook you up. I just For instance, I have an interview coming up with this music production company, and we we have not set the date of when we're going to record the interview, but I'm going to try during this holiday weekend, during this Thanksgiving weekend, to try to capture the interview so that I can publish it, because he's got some Black Friday deals that he's going to be putting out, and so the sooner that we get his um, the infomercial interview out, the better. And so, basically, here's how it went down. This wonderful guy. So, one of my singers, Nick, if you know Nick Skinner is one of my team members. He's part of the Conclave Download uh, record company, part of the Conclave Download group. If you can go to my website, emptydots.com, and you can just um, you'll be able to see all the songs that he's done with me. He has been such a blessing to me. Probably one of the people on my team that for years that has blessed me with his singing vocals, his singing voice, and it's really helped me kind of get to this point where the sky's the limit, basically. You know what I'm saying, for the ministry that we're doing. But anyway, so I ain't got no money in my pocket. I got let me see how much money I got right now. I got I'm currently sitting on one, two, I've got $12 and some quarters and nickels or whatever. So I've been functioning this year on such a low amount of money that you would not even believe that I'm still functioning, because I'm finding out how resilient I am. I'm finding out, you know, that you can live on, oatmeal. Okay, I found, because in 2019, it was 2019 and before, it was no big deal, man, for me to drive over, go grab me, breakfast at Burger King, breakfast at Denny's, and just spending money. And I didn't, because I was working, whatever. But once that job said, gave me the heave ho early this year, I just um I it's overdue for me to have, been trying to, rely on the gift that God gave me, and all of that. And so this 2020 has been really kind of an interesting year for me because, and I'm gonna kind of talk about that during this episode. I really want to kind of kind of reset my life in front of you guys to, or put the words so you guys know kind of exactly where I'm at, as much as one can articulate. Um, just so that you kind of know what's going on. But back to the $12, I got in my pocket. I've been functioning, all this year on oatmeal, uh, 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 coffee, and sandwiches. Meaning, like, get a loaf of bread. You get a loaf of bread for $1, and then go get some sandwich meat. Let me see what else. Oh, I went to one place. One of my rap friends. He has a furniture store that he runs. I went over there, and uh they had bags of uh of tortilla chips. How much was it? It was $4 per box, and the box had like 6 bags of tortilla chips in it. So it was literally like, and I hope I got it right. I think I got it right because I just gave him like $20, over the span of like a couple of weeks. I was like, man, I got that, man. And I went to the dollar store. You can get some dollar store salsa, man. And I've been eating, I haven't eat up all the chips that I bought. I think I bought maybe like $25 worth of those chips. So I had like one, two, three big boxes of it. I got one in one spot, another in another spot, and I was carrying around chips with me. So when I was hungry, I just go get me some dollar store salsa. Man, so oatmeal, chips and salsa. What else? Was I? Get some dollar bread and some lunch meat. Man, I've been functioning on such a low amount of, and that's why this piece of cake that I'm eating right now, that's why it feels so good. I haven't even touched it yet, but um, uh, uh, you know, uh, in my little office, sometimes people are so kind and they'll uh, purchase little things for me that kind of help me out because they know that they know about my current situation, and I'm like, you know I'm grateful. My father has been a blessing. He always keeps his refrigerator stocked with stuff, so I get a chance to kind of, when I'm visiting with my father, you know I make my oatmeal, and he can't stand oatmeal. He used to love oatmeal. He's the one that taught me how to make oatmeal. Now he can't stand oatmeal at all. He cannot stand it at all. Man, I hate your oatmeal. He be throwing my oatmeal out. Like, I'll make it, and if I don't eat my oatmeal within 30 minutes, he gets up and he would throw my oatmeal out. So I'd be like, doggone it, Matt, you wasting all this oatmeal. You don't know how to make oatmeal. You making too much oatmeal. It's hilarious to me. Um, but oatmeal is so cheap, you know what I'm saying? And so, and I really figured out how to make it, that you boil that mug, right? I used to make the best way to make oatmeal, okay, is you boil the water, you put the oatmeal in there. And listen, I don't like measuring it. That people around me, you need to use how many cups of water right here. Shut up with your cups of water. So I pour some water in there. I eyeball it, dog. I love to cook just by eyeball if I'm gonna cook something. I'm not a good cook, so you don't want me to cook nothing, okay? Just know I'm only good at running my mouth in the form of lyrics and maybe this. I may not be good at this. I may not be good at podcasting, but I'm definitely not good I'm closer to doing this good than cooking or anything, okay? So I'll make my oatmeal, boil the water, put the oatmeal in there, stir it, and then I turn the heat off and put the lid on top of it. Okay, so then And then I just let the oats and the water cook. And then by the time I look back in there, the water is gone. And then the oats are ready. And I get my little butter and scoop the oatmeal into, and I love getting paper bowls and paper spoons, because yes, you're throwing it out. That means there's no dishes. And not that I don't mind washing dishes. I don't mind at all washing dishes, but um, sometimes it's just more convenient to just throw it out. You know what I'm saying? So, so I got my little. I'll get like at Sam's Club, you can get a huge amount of paper bowls and not paper spoons, but plastic spoons. Man, I got enough of those to last me for however long. And so then, so every day I make some, put that into the bowl, get my little butter, cause you can get butter, like 4 sticks of butter for like $1 at, Walmart or whatever. So I got that, and then the sugar that I use for my coffee, I would rather use brown sugar, in my whatever, but I ain't always got it like the brown sugar. So you know what I'm saying? I just got to use the same sugar for my coffee. Use that for the oatmeal. Bam. And then don't mess around and let me excuse me. Don't let me mess around and grab me some a thing of raisins. Man, or some craisins. The cranberry raisins. Man, I sprinkle, get me a handful of raisins, throw that into the oatmeal with the sugar and the butter, stir that mug around, and then just sit back for a second and let it cool down, and bam, had that with my coffee. Boy, that's the way I start my morning right there. Oh, that's a way to kick it off, right? Um, Once in a while, I like making pancakes, and I haven't really been making pancakes for myself in a while, but if I'm around somebody that wants me to make some breakfast or whatever, I'll make some eggs and some pancakes, and I usually get the pancakes with just add water, because when you start saying you need to have for if you want to make 18 pancakes, you need to have seven eggs, and then you also need to put some flour. Hold on, what am I getting this box for if I need to put other stuff into it? I need to take this box of whatever's inside this box needs to be all the ingredients. Everything else that I need to get for making pancakes, then I might as well be making pancakes from scratch. And I ain't got them skills. I look for my favorite words. my, my, my favorite words when it comes to pancakes is just add water. Those are my favorite words, okay? So I get me some just add water pancakes, doggone it, and I make some huge ones, some small ones. I learned how to I learned how to take, put the pancake, stir it in a measuring cup. Boy, and I just pour it down onto the thing and it round. I can make some small ones or I make some big ones. Man, please. But I make them for other people. For myself, I'll eat some. I'll eat some pancakes, but I've been trying to kind of cut down because my metabolism is not what it used to be. If y'all remember, I used to be so, small and whatever, but my metabolism. And then I started noticing my metabolism going down. I started noticing it going down, in 2016. That's when I really noticed it. And I was eating Burger King every day on the way to work for lunch. I was not trying to eat healthy, but I was still passing my Army physical fitness test. I was still passing them with no problem. So I was cool. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, so I just So I've been trying to work it out, and I don't know if oatmeal. I haven't looked up all the details, but my 2021, I have plans for this winter. I've really, uh, I've scaled this year. I've kind of had to force. I've been forced to really kind of scale back, so I'm not eating out as much as I used to. I mean, I had somebody, they would, people really care about me. There are people in my corner right now who really I have to say thanks to all the people who have been in my corner for 2020 because they have made sure that I've eaten better than I wanted to eat. Nice meals with I had this year I had chicken. I went to a place called Carrabba's. I've never been to Carrabba's before, and they have chicken parmesan, and uh, I was like, wow, I looked at the meal, and I've had chicken parmesan before. I mean, whatever, but the way that Carrabba's does it, whoa, whoa, is all I can say. My goodness, so anyway, um, so the purpose, like the reason why I wanted to do this broadcast today is not to talk about oatmeal, but to really, I made a small little list of things to talk about related to, 2021, the next 2022, 2023, the next 3 years. But I'm working on the stuff right now so that, everyone can benefit from it. And I've learned that my movements, I don't need to, I no longer wait for everyone to catch up. Not that I'm so far ahead of everybody, okay? It's not that. But it takes time for an idea to uh to get to everyone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one of the things about this most recent presidency with Donald Trump, we and right now we're in the lame duck session, but we all got a chance to see how over the past maybe 8 years, how tweeting and Facebook, let me see, and YouTube, and there's probably others, but there's others that are also in there, but Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube over the past 8 years, if we don't grasp how powerful those three mediums are, as well as many of the other ones, then these past 8 years have done it. And I say the 4 years of President Trump's presidency plus the second term of President Obama, we really saw how powerful you can be with your smartphone. And when Donald Trump won in when he beat Hillary Clinton, I had a lot to write about, but one of the things I asked the Lord about, I said, what's the meaning of this for me? What's my, because every presidency, every time there's a change of leaders, in any respect, wherever you're at, when you have a new mayor, when you have a new senator, when you get a new boss, when you have a new child, when you have anything, any change, if you interact with the Lord on what does that mean to you, you're going to get some good insight. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, Donald Trump's presidency meant for me that that you can do anything with your smartphone. You can change the world for positive, you can change the world for negative. You can do it with your own smartphone. And I was talking with Apostle Terrence, uh, you know, we were kind of talking about, you know, everybody is powerful now. Everybody. Now you can go, if I sat on my Facebook stream, Facebook, and just scrolled up how many people are streaming live at any given time. And, you know, it's one thing for me on my smartphone to be scrolling through my 13, 14, 1,500 friends on Facebook, just scrolling through Facebook and just, rolling up and just looking at who's doing what and people posting stuff or whatever and how many live streams are going at the same time. It's one thing for me to look at that and say, wow, this is a lot. I need to go do something else because I've spent, over an hour just looking at all these live streams, and it's almost impossible to look at everyone's entire live stream, which is why if you spent even the half, if you've listened to this for even, the 20, thank you for listening to me. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the people, because that's the kind of the conversation that Apostle Terrence and I had, is that, like, there are so many people out there talking now who are empowered by all of this stuff that it's like it's a lot. And now we're all sounding brass. We're all broadcasting and speaking here, speaking there. Everybody's talking, you know, and that's a good thing. But one of the downsides of it is, who's paying attention to this person? Who's paying attention to me? Who's paying attention to that person? That person? Who is it? And my answer, which we didn't talk on the phone about this, but I thought about it, is that there are people that call to hear my voice. Just like Pastor Brian and Pastor Elton and Pastor Donna and Pastor Carla, for some reason, those four, when they open their mouths with stuff that they've got to talk about, I want to hear it. Pastor Bill Winston, he's out of Forest Park, Illinois. I can't get enough of listening to Dr. Bill Winston. I can't get enough of it. I could just go on YouTube and I'll play, 30 videos of his. I mean, I won't bat an eye. You know what I'm saying? Go to sleep, wake up, listening to him, go into the bathroom, listening to him while I, just go about my day, listening to some Bill Winston. Man, I mean, there are some people that you're called, some people that you're attracted to their voice. You're called to hear what they've got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like with oatmeal. Oatmeal is my thing. Not everybody's into oatmeal. My father used to be into oatmeal, but he don't like it no more. He like grits, and I can't stand grits. Ooh, I can't stand grits. And listen, I've had grits before, but I prefer oatmeal. And it's not that grits are bad or evil, but some people are offended. But how could you not like grits? I just don't like grits. Okay. Well, look, you're going to eat my grits because my grits are... Okay, I'll eat your grits, right? So I eat some grits. And they be looking at me like with a big old smile. Yep, you like my grits now, right? You like grits now. You like grits. I bet you like grits. No, I told you I didn't like it, but, I'm being, thank you for making me some grits. I'm hungry than a mug. You know what I'm saying? I've been eating oatmeal, so I guess it's a nice change of pace to eat your little nasty little grits. But I have somebody right now. I am not a fan of black eyed peas at all. But you know that's on the menu, so I gotta deal with some black eyed peas. I'm gonna eat them. And I might mess around and put some ranch dressing on black eyed peas. I might end up doing that. If you're gonna force me to eat some, if you're gonna force me to eat something that I don't want to eat, then don't get mad when I put ranch dressing on them. Anyway, okay. So, all right. So on my little list, where will I start? Okay. I've got upcoming performances that okay, COVID and my upcoming performances. Okay, so on December 6th of 2020, I have an event in Joliet. Now, the significance to this event in Joliet for me, okay, the significance for me is really twofold. Number one, Joliet is where I lived when my brain started to function where I could remember. Meaning, my earliest memory or my earliest memories was the house we used to live in Joliet, my father Rocco and my mother Vivian. Um, uh, Going to school, I started kindergarten out there. The backyard that we had, the basketball court that I've never been able to put a basket into because my dad did not make it for me and my sisters. um, the concrete slab that the two vehicles that my dad, had a car and they had a van. Um, that's my earliest memory. Yes, we, obviously some people like I'm with my two children. I've been recording video and audio of them for their entire lives. So I am I ask my daughter who's 5 and I ask my son who's 9 right now. I ask them about their earliest memories, and then I'll bring up videos and they will let me know because I'm trying to figure that out, because what do you remember, and it's really funny because both of my children, they as I let them talk to me about their memories, um uh both of them when they were 4 have alluded to being in heaven before being born. And that is fascinating to me. I'm fascinated. And so, um, you know, my little baby, she's 5. I tried to get more and more, and I got audio of her talking about it, and I'm gonna kind of like, whenever I get a chance to, throughout the next couple of years, I'm gonna analyze it for myself more. But as she gets older, you kind of get removed from that, But like I said, my first memories, I remember being 5 years old and getting ready to go to kindergarten and stuff like that. That's what I remember. So Joliet for me is this is where this is where my brain started capturing memories. My parents in Joliet is when they decided to get a divorce. There was a flood where there was a flood, and my father, during this flood, if I think it flooded the whole basement all through Joliet. There was some flood, and my dad carried my sister Tina and me, and then my mother was carrying my baby sister Andrea, and we were carrying, and I believe the water was to their knees, and I don't know where they were going with us, but they were going to safety because there was water everywhere or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going back to Joliet. I'm gonna do this show. Um, it's at the Forge, and when I do the editing of this audio, it'll be up on the screen, so you'll be able to see the details. The tickets, I don't have the ticket prices on me, but it can't be. It's not that. It's not a huge amount of money, but so if you can make it, I would love it. I have a Facebook. I have a Facebook event, that matched up with it. So it looks like at the moment there's 4 people that said they're going, but I still have to promote the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a show. I have a company named Afton. And Afton is a company that has helped. That they're a company that really was a blessing before COVID, and the time that, because I won't go into all the details about them, but basically they set up shows for people like me. This is what I thought. I thought that because I'm a rapper and I'm a church rapper, I've been a Christian rapper, for my entire adulthood. So um, I thought that my pastors and I thought all these different preachers would see me as, you know what, we need to nurture this talent. In the same way that in the military, there are people that they're like, we need to watch over this guy or this lady. We need to watch over, and so they kind of uh, 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 pattern out their career so that way they end up being just as powerful as they were by the time that they retire. There are generals and colonels and people that I've talked to, and I asked them, about their path, how they got there, and they've talked to me about how certain people, spoke into their career. They made sure that their evaluations said a certain thing in there. And as I was coming up and I learned some of that stuff, some of that stuff didn't always trickle down to me. So sometimes I had to, make sure that it applied to me somehow. But the point is that some people's lives, they call it grooming. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever heard anybody say, or if you ever heard anybody say that they got a starter home, they get married and then their family gives them a home. That definitely does not apply to me. Bless the Lord, though. I do have a dad, and I worked on a song called "The Power of the Putt Putt," and I counted. My father got me 5 vehicles in my life. My first vehicle, which was a Pinto. My second vehicle, which was a Pontiac Sunbird, which he drove me down to Fort Hood and got me there. Then when I came back, that vehicle, when I was driving it back, it died in Oklahoma. So then when I flew back from Oklahoma back to Chicagoland area, he gave me a Cutlass Sierra. So I got that vehicle, and then he gave me a Kia. I think it was a Kia Sportage, because when he had a stroke, he couldn't drive stick anymore. So that's a story in and of itself, because I won't go into that, but that's a story in and of itself, because he drove from Milwaukee with a stroke. You know what I'm saying? Driving a stick. My dad is amazing. And then the fifth car that he got me, um, bless the Lord. I mean, my father is just, I'm so grateful that he hooked me up. And I may not have gotten a starter home, but I've got so much knowledge about how to keep a car running. The van that I have right now, I have over 350,000 miles on it. And I got it when it had, I think, 150,000 miles on it. 150, 149, or 148, or 151, something like that. So 150,000 miles on it is when I got it. And I got it in the same year that my daughter was born. Um, uh, you know, so I've had that vehicle and it's gone through a lot, but I still got it. And I believe that I can get another 2 to 3 years out of it. And that's my challenge to myself. And so that's why I love on that vehicle. I try to keep it up or whatever. But that's my thing. Thank God, because I got a good father. You know what I'm saying? So I may not have got a starter home, but I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of expensive cars. I love a putt putt. I I love a putt putt. I love my oatmeal. I love my my sandwiches with my dollar, $1.19 a loaf bread, and I love my putt putt. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's like I said about back to the performances. Um, you know, my life was not patterned for me, and I thought that that's what they're, I thought that that's what they were going to, because that's part of, that was part of, we're going to raise you up and send you out. So I was under that mindset, and I've learned that that's not the case. So I finally accepted it. It took me years to accept. I'm so dumb as it relates to this. It took me years to finally just accept, hey, Matt, you know what? if you're gonna make something, if something's gonna happen in your quote ministry, in your music career, ministry, whatever, you're gonna need to do it. And it took me way too many years to accept that. Way too many years. I was really, it took me way too many years. So Afton, um, they're a company that takes rappers like me who have, really nothing big. I mean, to some people, Louise Cutler, uh, a long time ago, she said to me, Matt, you're a legend. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't feel that way. But when she said that to me, it was a blessing. Pastor Carla, one time she said to me, she said, Matt, you're good ground. So you need to give people the opportunity to sow into your ministry. And that it took me years to really like implement that and look at myself as somebody that is not striving to be, an aspiring artist. I don't if anybody applies the aspiring artist label to me, it's marketing on their part to help sell me to whoever they whatever. I see myself I see myself as a professional. I've been doing it for way too long for me to not consider myself a professional artist or whatever. And though I may not have made as much money in the natural as some of the people that I love and look up to. Let me see. If I need to, I'm download multiple files. Okay, allow. Oh snaps! Wait! Whoa! Whoa! Did I do this? Is that on purpose? Oh, okay. So, all right. So I'm downloading. I have I got a bunch of new beats. That's what I'm working on while I'm working on this right now. Let me just explain this for a second. Let me take this little rabbit trail for a second. Listen, right now I have so many instrumentals and so I have so many instrumentals and I'm so grateful to God. This is the way that I took what God said to heart. And that is, Matt, if it's going to work out, you need to do it. You know, Stop waiting on me. I'm waiting on you. And that's deep, man. When there was somebody said, what I see right now, this is not going to fit in an hour. Um, I apologize that this is not going to be a 1 hour show. I'm so sorry. If you're listening to me and I'm boring, I'm sorry. Uh, but I see now that this is going to end up being probably a 90-minute show. So, all right. So anyway, I took God's advice, and in 2010, I was making I went out to Fort Hunter Liggett, and instead of working two jobs, I put both jobs that I had, my reserve job and my civilian job, I put both of those on hold, and I took a stateside deployment, as it was called, or mobilization, a stateside mobilization. It's an assignment, and it ended up being a 3-year assignment. It started off as a 1-year assignment, but it became a 3-year assignment. And during those years, I went to the Kingdom Music Festival, and that's where I met Love Covenant Church in Sumter, South Carolina. And those people blessed me, and really helped me. By the time I finished my 3-year assignment in California, I had done 3 years of the Kingdom Music Festival. And by the time it was over, by the time both of those, the MOB as well as the KMF, because I went to the final 3 years of the Kingdom Music Festival, they don't do it anymore. Um, I it's almost like I had went to college, and I went to college to know and do exactly what it is I want to do with life. I went there. I was able to do my music. Um, I did not preach any sermons because I didn't consider myself a preacher. And had I considered myself a preacher, I probably could have, but I'm glad I didn't because I the thing I got to do a lot of is be a scribe. You know, um, I was able to go around with my video camera and capture a lot of footage that nobody was capturing. So I got to, and I have not published really any of that stuff, but there's little moments that I'm looking forward to over the next several years, putting out on the Matt Ellipsis Show, um, uh, you know, as well as some of the other shows that I'm working on. So I'm just really grateful to God because during that time I feel that I mastered uh, my performance ability, and you can look online if you look on YouTube and just type in Matt Ellipsis and KMF, meaning Kingdom Music Festival, or Kingdom Media Foundation is the new term for it now, but at the time it was Kingdom Music Festival. If you look those up, you'll find a few. I haven't published everything that was done there, but I just published a few of them from my own edification and blessing. Um, and you'll see that I feel I've mastered my performance. Now, not saying that I can't learn and do more, but performing um with a band, performing with a producer on it who has a keyboard with all his beats in the keyboard. Ugh, that was amazing. It was amazing. So I did that, outside performance, inside performance, performance in a suit, performance with no shoes on, meaning that I won't go into it. All that stuff is up there. And in California, I did a bunch of shows or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I did some shows at farmers market. I did some at churches. I did some at Spanish speaking churches where I had an interpreter. You know what I'm saying? So bless the Lord. I've done a lot. I've done a lot over the years. Now, meaning that just because I've done a lot, that doesn't mean that a lot of people know me, but it's 330 million Americans. So who's going to be known by everybody? You know what I'm saying? There are some people who mean a lot to me, as an artist or as a writer or whatever. And I'll say that person's name in front of somebody and they're like, I ain't never heard of them. And when I really get, you think that somebody who is famous to you would be famous to everybody, but that's not the case. You know, 330 million Americans, we have our own little tribes or our own little SECTS, own little groups that we deal with. And when you look at Facebook, I see there are so many people that are part of different things that, you can't know it all. So I learned during in 3 years that I need to, my next level is to understand all these different tribes throughout America and make myself appeal to each one of these as many as possible. Sometimes there is a this is a mistake, I think, but people do it. What is your demographic? What demographic are you going after? And so, there's an idea, hey, you know what? I'm going after the 18 to 24 demographic. And that may be good for TV shows and radio. They may be good for other people. But, if you're looking at the Great Commission, and not saying that that's the only part of my, that I got to think about, um, because there's a lot of people working on the Great Commission. So if you got a whole bunch of people working on the Great Commission, I can't do everything that they did. You know what I'm saying? All I'm responsible for doing is really what I'm supposed to do. And I use this analogy. To a few people this year, that I'm just a broom. You know, I'm a broom, and when you need something swept up, you call me, and I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna sweep it up. I'm good at cleaning up certain messes. But if it's a liquid mess, you might want to get Mr. Mop. You know what I'm saying? If it's a spiritual mess, you might want to get Mr. Preacher. But I'm the broom, and I can only sweep up messes that I got access to. You could put me in the vehicle, and you could take me everywhere around the world. Wherever I go, I'm going to do broom type stuff. Now, obviously, I'm not saying I'm a literal broom. I'm saying that I'm a rapper, and I am a songwriter, and I have decided that I'm gonna, take some of my material and, start, doing my little TV and radio stuff. I was a news anchor for a little while, so I got a chance to learn a little bit of that world, and I'm not done with that world. You know what I'm saying? Of being a news anchor, I'm not done with that. There's so I've got some plans for my future. Um, but at the same time, Pastor Brian, he put a blurb on Facebook. I believe it was on Facebook. Sometimes you got to let the main thing be the main thing, and that's what I've done. I believe that I have let the main thing for me has been writing lyrics. And if you go to m3dots.com, you will find all the music that I have released publicly. I started off with an album called Impartation. The next album was Face the Music. My third album was, I'm sorry, my first album was Impartation. My second album was I Wish You Knew. Both of those albums, I made both of those on a keyboard, drum machine, and sequencer. And I still have the sequencer. Somebody stole my keyboard. And I know who the person is, but that person doesn't respond to me. But one day, I'm going to get my keyboard back. One day. Okay? One day. And that person, when he took my keyboard, we had some plans, and that dude has never called me back, but we're still connected on Facebook. So one day I'm gonna get my keyboard back, or at least that person is going to, be held accountable at some point. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I'm working towards. Anyway, stupid me of being trusting of people. You know what I'm saying? That's really the bottom line. It's like I trusted people. I trusted that, we're going to raise you up and send you out. I trusted, I trusted. Oh, we're going to be a band. Oh, I trusted. I have to just rely on what I'm doing. And, I'm a person who likes to live below my means. I don't like getting loans. I don't like, so record deal. I've looked at these record deals that people got out there. I thank God I am not in their situations. One of the things that really bothered me, this bothered me just as a man who loves listening to Method Man and Redman. Those two rappers, if there was a tag team rap group, Method Man, Redman, they're on the top of a lot of people's list, as they should be. But those two, they came out with a movie called How High. And when they didn't, they weren't able to be. I don't know if they were not in it, because I haven't seen the second one, How High 2. But how do you have a How High 2 without Method Man and Redman? I don't even understand why somebody would even conceive of doing that, as great of an influence as Method Man and Redman are. So how do you have how do you build the second, how do you build on a franchise without the two people? I don't even get that. But you know, Method Man and Redman, I haven't heard a lot of commentary from them about it. It's more than other people would say about it, but they were not. In other words, they were not in the sequel, or if they, I don't know. I haven't even looked at. I'm not even. If they're not in the sequel, I'm not going to watch the sequel. You know what I'm saying? I think I saw the How High movie. I think I saw that like 2 or 3 times because it's Method Man and Redman. They ended up doing a TV show for a little while. Um, Method Man and Redman took their brand and they took that mug as far as maybe they could have gone farther, but they took the Method Man and Redman, the Red and Meth. They took that brand as far you know as they could take it. You know what I'm saying? They deserve a lot of applause and kudos for being individually sustaining themselves, meaning that lyrically they, Method Man and Redman lyrically, even stuff that they're putting out over the past 5 years, it's still it's some good lyricism. For lyrics, lyrical, they're excellent. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's the thing. I mean, and the record industry. Not saying that Method Man and Redman have been screwed over. I don't know because I'm not them. I just know that um I have no desire to watch the sequel, you know, without Redman and Method Man in it. You know what I'm saying? But when Method Man and Redman, if they put out an album, I definitely want to listen to it at least once or twice or 3 times or 4 times because you know what I'm saying? They're that great as lyricists. And so, I want it to be as good as them, in terms of my lyrical ability as well as my music production. I wanted to, I learned from them. I watched them over the years, and I wanted to make sure that my music had had some of the same elements that makes it so you could listen to something I put out, 5, 10 years ago or whatever, and the lyrics would hold up. You know what I'm saying? Obviously music evolves and what people listen to kind of evolves. Some of the music, the way that they, uh, I mean, I'm talking about. I have never heard the word trap more in the past 5 years. I've never heard the word trap this much. Good God. Trap this, trap. I drove somewhere at Trap University. What are you to Trap University? Trap. This is my trap house. This is my trap this. Whoa. So trap, if that's the new thing, I got learning to do, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously that's what people like or whatever. But, you know, Redman said in one of his songs, he was like, hey, I'm the 90s era. I'm a 90s rapper. But, you know, um, Pastor Eric Dorsey, for me, he said, Matt, don't look at your music as seasonal, or don't look at your music as, you got to put out and push this single. He said, think of your music like an arsenal. And that's the way I've looked at it. And I'm a military person, so I know what the arms room is like. So I got certain songs that are like this type of ammunition. I got certain songs that are like that type of ammunition. I got certain songs and certain albums that are this type of weapon. And the weapons of our warfare, they're not carnal. They're mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I know what I'm doing is in the marketplace of ideas and in the marketplace of words. That's where I want to dominate in my sphere. I'm not trying to be on everybody's list or whatever. What demographic am I going after? I'm going after those that are called to hear my voice. That's all if when my voice comes out there, if you've listened to me now for an hour, holy, oh my goodness. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I look at my views. I know that I don't get like 1,000 million views or whatever else, but there are certain people that do check it out. And those people, thank you. If you've listened to me for this long, thank you so very much. And if you connect with me by email, m3dots@yahoo.com, I will bless you. You know what I'm saying? And personally bless you. And I think the way that artists are able to do things now, like I said, I woke up at 2 o'clock. I woke up at 1:30 this morning, and I started my morning writing some lyrics, and I finished a song. I had started it several weeks ago, meaning I got the hook for it. But then this morning I did the first and the second verse, and it's only gonna be a 2 verse thing. And so I finished those, and then that's how I started my morning. And I said, okay, man, and I could record the vocals, but I just wasn't in the mood to record. I'm in the mood to do what I'm doing right now. So I said, well, let me do an episode. So voila, you see what I'm saying? That's why. So if you're hearing my voice, don't feel bad about reaching out to me and either letting me know how you feel. If we're hooked up on Messenger, if we're hooked up on Instagram and all these different mediums. Now listen, when you're hooked up on all these mediums, all the social media stuff, um, it could be like you're chasing your tail. And I refuse to chase my tail. Okay? Um, this is what I can tell you. That for 2020 and 2021, if you really, 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 really want to reach me, the number one way is send me an email. Okay? m3dots@yahoo.com. Okay? Um, the second way that is really good is Facebook Messenger. That you can Facebook Messenger, you can send an audio, you can send a song, you can send a link, you can talk to me on that way. We can call each other on Messenger. Oh my, we can video call each other on Messenger. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Good God. And I have a group of people. I just connected with a bunch of people in Nigeria, I believe. I don't know if all of these people are in Nigeria, but um, I did an interview, and I'm about to publish it sometime this weekend with Jimmy Jack. And Jimmy Jack posted that, hey, we're gonna do an interview on the Matt Ellipsis Show, and I had, you know, Facebook friendship requests back and forth from 200 people, at least 200 people, a little bit over that. I said, oh my God. So I went ahead and I took my time, and I dealt with every one of them, meaning that I, connected and made sure that I'm connected. And I said, wow, man. I said, whoa, this is a blessing. So I'm not worried about, um, being a blessing to everyone in the world. If people are called to hear my voice, called to hear my music, called to be on my show or listen to my show, they will come. Because I can't remember where this came from, but if you build it, they will come. Whatever that means, I'm applying that to my life. If that's a cliche, I'm a person, I don't like cliches. I don't like cliches. I test cliches until they break. And the cliche, if you build it, they will come. I have seen that cliche work. I will stand by that cliche all day, all night for the rest of my life because I have built some stuff, and I'm so fascinated by the response. I'm so grateful. So many people. I can look at my analytics for my videos. I look at my analytics for my music. I look at my analytics for my website. I look at my analytics for um, when email blasts, and I don't blast a lot, but when I do, I'm tracking stuff. I look at my analytics on a lot of stuff. I have to, right? That's what That's how you know you're being effective or not, is you look at your analytics. And that's not the only measurement, but that's one measurement, because some things you just got to do because God tells you to do it. Or it's you and God agreed that that's the best way to knock it out, co-laboring with him. So who's my demographic? Who's my demographic? My demographic is those that are called to hear what I got to say and value what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? When you're going, if you're going for a demographic that, hey, you're supposed to be going for the 18 to 24 demographic. You got to dress like this. Why do I got to change who I am just to get the attention of people who I wouldn't get their attention if blah, blah, blah. Like, for instance, right now, I got a gray beard. As a rapper, oh my God, it's just, no, no. How you going to appeal to young people with a gray beard? I don't care about appealing to young people specifically with a gray. Do you know that this beard, let me tell you something about my beard, okay? And I still don't have any professional pictures done yet with my beard. I got all of my professional pictures are done without my beard. So part of the reason why I'm stubborn and I have not shaved my beard or shaved it down is because I'm waiting to put the money together so that I can afford to get a professional photo shoot. And I found a lady in Illinois who will, I want to say for like she said for like $150 she'll do everything I need done. I need 2 sets of that, meaning that I was gonna what I told her is, you're gonna put the camera on. I got about like 12. I now have 12 different outfits that I want to put on. So that with my beard, and that, some of my suits, some of my uniforms. Like if you've been paying attention, if you have been paying attention to some of my current stuff, then you'll know that I got these camouflage different color outfits. And the orange one, that was the one that I was using. I put that into play. I think I got it in 2016. And then I started to wear it all the time in 2017 and 18. And then in 2019, I went ahead and I was still wearing that, but I purchased other colors. And then this year, I've been wearing them, but I haven't I tried to take some pictures, but I paid this one dude, and the pictures did not come out as great as I would have loved them to have come out. But that's part of the process a little bit. Sometimes you kind of do what you can at the time that you can do it. So my intention is that over the next 3 months, I would get about maybe 600 or so pictures. All of them necessarily won't be utilized, but I'll get at least 600 pictures, because right now I got about 300 or so pictures of me without my beard. Like the one with the hat. That picture, I took that. How long did I take that picture? Yeah, I might have took that picture in 2000. Let me see. Baby was born here. I probably took that in 2015 or 16. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever that picture, the one with me in the hat, that's a suit. Here's what I did. I scheduled an emergency photo shoot with my brother-in-law, John. What I did was he was doing he does photo shoots he does photo shoots, professional photo shoots. So I gave him $150 just to take just a bunch of shots. And what happened is that Corinthian, he was getting married. And so I picked up, I became the best. He asked me to be the best man. And so so I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. When I became the best man, I had enough money to go get me a suit. And so I got the suit, the rental or whatever. So I went and got that, and I looked at it, I said, man, when I went to try it on, I said, man, this joke is nice. And I said, okay, when I got to pick it up? Okay, look, I'm going to pick it up. The wedding is on Saturday. I'm going to pick it up on Thursday. How that sound? She was like, okay, yeah, no problem. I picked that mug on Thursday. Man, I let my brother-in-law, John, I let him know. I said, look, man, look, I need to schedule an emergency photo shoot either on Thursday or Friday before this wedding on Saturday, because I need to use this suit. I'm not finna rent, a suit or tux or whatever for $150, and this I'm not finna just let this go to waste. So I scheduled him, and I came over, and we started messing around, and what and so I had all them different outfits or whatever. So I got myself a nice little photo shoot. So that was my second photo shoot. The first one I did was maybe 6 to 7 months, maybe a year before that. So I got two. Let me see. That got that with a beard. I think I might have had a little beard. Yeah, I had a little beard, and then that one was all bald. Everything shaved. So I got a small little goatee type photo shoot. I got a photo shoot with bald, and now I want to do a couple of photo shoots with. I got about two different styles for my beard and my hair that I want to do. And so I there's some people in my life like, man, you need to get your hair cut. You just look ridiculous. But I'm working on something. You know what I'm saying? I know I can, make myself look good or presentable, but I'm working on something. You know what I'm saying? Like W. Kamau Bell, his hair, the afro, it just be like, whoa. And then you see Cornel West, and his that be like, whoa. And mine, I can't get it that high, okay? Because I guess I'm getting older. But anyway, there is a way that I saw, man, it looks nice if I shape it like, So I'm finna do that, and that's one look. And then I got another one that I'm gonna do and make it like, so that I have two of them. So my goal is to have, do at least two photo shoots with this beard and all the different outfits. And that way I got those pictures for different albums and stuff like that. And then after that, then I will be able to cut my beard off or cut it down or develop the next look, because I got the next look. So I got the uniforms right now. I think that's going to be these uniforms I believe that I'm going to be rocking those through 2021, 2022. And I've got my 2023 and 2024 look. I already got that planned out. So whenever I have an opportunity to do a photo shoot with that look, I'm gonna get that together. But it's gonna take, when you're getting your looks together for these products or whatever, at the same time I'm making music based on these different looks too. You see what I'm saying? So, but I guess I'm saying all that to say, if I don't have it, I don't have no bunch of money to do whatever. So I'm just doing this stuff, I'm not doing it for people to give me money. You can go on my website, you hear all my music for free. You go on YouTube, you're looking at my videos for free. So ain't nobody putting money in my hands. There are people that, boy, when you get a lot of views, don't you get money on YouTube? Yeah, that would be nice if it actually did work like that. Like, YouTube ain't never put no money in my account. I either I don't have the amount of views or the view. Just because there's commercials in front of my videos. Listen, here's what's funny. This was funny. When you put your music in Spotify, and all the iTunes or whatever, do you know that each time somebody listens, I get a percentage of a penny? That's what the music industry is right now. You get a percentage of a penny anytime somebody listens to your music. So that's what's going on right now. That's, and I can't live off of a percentage of a penny. A lot of people have to listen to my music in order for me to make enough pennies to buy one of the beats. This new crop of beats that I just got from Caesar Beats. Man, thank God I got two people in my life that I said, yo, you know what I do. Can you buy these for me, please? And it's not just for me. We're all working on this stuff. So they went ahead and did it. Bless the Lord. Do you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, that's the thing. I've had to accept that I don't know how to monetize my own music. It might be easy for somebody else. Man, you need to do this. Man, you need to do that. But I done everything. You know what? Hey, you know what? I just had to accept that I'm not this person. I'm not Method Man. I'm not Redman. I'm not all these famous rappers that got millions. I'm not Eminem. I'm not Lil Wayne. I am not these people that are making millions and millions of dollars off their music. I'm not Cardi B. I'm not Nicki Minaj. I'm not any of these people. Those people have been able to monetize their music. I have accepted that I'm a rapper. I'm the best that I'm gonna be, and I'm striving to be a better me. I'm not trying to be like them. And it seems that with m3dots.com, if somebody wants to buy my music, then they'll buy my music. If um if it's important for me to be making money, I don't need to be going around hustling and doing that. I just want to I want to be able to make my music and not think about all of that stuff. If somebody says, "Hey, Matt, I'm gonna monetize your stuff," yeah, you're gonna have to do a little bit of stuff that I become your boss now, so you're gonna have to kind of do some stuff that I need you to do. But if some of the stuff that I need that they want me to do, if it doesn't feel right, how can I do it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, TLC, Tony Braxton, some of the artists from Motown. Um, there's a lot of people whose music careers, they got a lot of music out there, but they're not profiting from it. And I'm not going to go down that same uh, area, since I already know that the goal of a lot of record companies and a lot of people is to screw over artists. Since I know that that's a fact, it's 2020. I can look at all the documentaries of all these artists, all these rappers, all these singers, and how they were screwed over. I don't need to live their story myself. I've lived enough of my own life, and and a lot of them artists, they were church people that the world plucked them out of the church. I have not let myself been plucked out of the church. You know what I'm saying? The church. I hate to say it like this, but the church has not put the money into me to help me evolve, and the church shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to give. That's the way it's supposed to be. Is everybody brings their tithe into the storehouse, and that money goes to the pastor and his staff and keeping up the church or whatever. That's just the way it's supposed to be. I'm not trying to break no traditions and break nobody's whatever. I'm finna function a little bit differently, but that's just the way that it is. Many churches have all of these wonderful people, singers and artists they got them, they're sitting there. These people are top level artists, just as good as the famous rappers and famous singers out there, just as good as them. The famous producers that are out there, they sitting right in their church, and they give them pennies in comparison to what they could be making on outside. So they at least give them enough pennies to make it so that they stay. But you know, mm-mm. Yep, I see right now. This is gonna go beyond hour and a half. This is messed up. I'm so sorry that I'm ranting like this. I didn't mean to do this. But bless the Lord. But there's a lot of artists, right in our regular churches. Thousands of people. Thousands of people. I just did a discussion with Art Black. Art Black was the first minister of music that he was on my first album. He was on my second album, but I made the songs on my second album. I made a couple of those before I made my first album. So I made like a little EP. And I Wish You Knew. If you look up that song, I Wish You Knew, Art Black and me. He sang on that song, and me and him we're working on right now. Thank God, I'm working on some stuff with him. And anyway, he chose to serve churches rather than go forward with a music career. He had everything set up, but he chose church instead of the world system of they were gonna, they had music out and stuff like that that he was gonna be doing with, that he had produced and stuff like that. One day I'm gonna have him on the show and I'll let him tell everybody how that story. And I love his path. But then here's the thing: he serves church, and guess who screwed him over the worst, if there was? Church. It's messed up. Lets me know that everybody is out to screw over artists. Unfortunately, if the world system is taking people's talents and, even with the best of intentions, yep, we need to do a contract, and it's all record deals, they're loans. What gifts? I listened to, I was driving one day, and there was a record company executive who came on, and this was like a Saturday morning, and you know how it's kind of like, whatever type of programming Saturday mornings. And this guy, he spent about half an hour basically saying, listen, there's a lot of artists out there. They are suing us because they want to get more money from us, the record companies. But they have to understand, artists have to understand that, because we played their music on our stations, we gave them something that is, it's not money, but it's monetizable, right? We gave them what's called celebrity. When I played these artists 2 times every hour on every single one of my stations, I give them pennies based on the advertising that I get. So yes, I give them through ASCAP and all that. That is the agreed upon amount. They want more, but they're already getting more. They became celebrities because I played them on all my TV, on all my radio stations. We made them into celebrities. They can take that celebrity status and turn that into more money. So why would we give them more money? If they're going to push us for more money, then you know what I'll do is I will lower the amount of time that I play them on my stations. This guy spent about 30 minutes talking about this, and I said, whoa. Now, behind the scenes, I know that he was basically giving those artists a message. Yo, you're getting too greedy. You're all, and I get the message. I got the message. Now listen, that may go against what artists want, but you got to understand the position that radio stations and the people who pay for your spins. Listen, you ain't the only one who need to get paid from your music. It's a whole infrastructure that was created that artists did not create. Artists did not create. I didn't create Spotify. So if Spotify and iTunes and all these other mediums, if I put my music, I've paid money to make it so that my music is, accessible to everybody. And so basically my music is at the same level of everybody else in the world, or at least everybody in America. Right? When my music is up there, you can search Matt Ellipsis the same way that you can search Lil Wayne, the same way you can search Eminem, the same way you can search Marvin Gaye, the same way you can search Mozart. You can search me just like everybody else. More people may search Mozart and Eminem and Lil Wayne and Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and whoever and Taylor Swift. You may search, and people may search for them more than they search for me, but at least my music is at the same level as theirs. It is searchable. Okay? That's a blessing by itself. And the money I paid to make it accessible, not only am I accessible, but anybody that's on the Conclave Download Records is accessible. And anybody that's not. You as an artist, you as a rap preacher, your content is just like everybody else, just like Apostle Terrence and me we're talking about. Everybody now got a voice. It's easy. You can take your raggedy recordings at home on your cell phone and you can make some good music. and you can put it out there and people can like it. You know, I've been studying some of the moves that what's the guy's name? Superman. What's that guy's name? Uh, Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy. Okay, so I looked at a couple of videos where they were talking about Soldier Boy, and I only heard the song and saw the dance people were doing it. Um, uh, but I've been a Christian rapper, so I haven't really been into all of the secular artists as much as I am. When I started rapping when I was 15, and I became a Christian at 19. And according to the preachers that I listened to at the time, rap is of the devil. So I gave up rapping. And then they was asking for building fund money. And I was like, look, I'm already tithing. I'm already doing everything and that I could do. And so then God told me, Matt, I want you to write some music. And so I started writing music again. And so that's what kicked it off. And I donated the money, to the church. I didn't keep the money. I just gave it to him or whatever. And I had my little cassettes and then I drove back to Chicago, and each of my albums, I didn't make no that I thought that each time I made an album up until, once after I made my third album, I really started to sink in and understand, Matt, just because you make an album don't mean you're going to get $1,000,000. That's what I thought. First album and second album and third album, I thought for sure each one of those albums, when I was putting it together, I thought for sure as soon as it was done that somebody was going to put $1,000,000 in my hand and say, listen, we love what you're doing. Boom. Or put me in positions. I genuinely thought that. But at the same, and so I made the music not to make the $1,000,000. I just knew that they were going to see what I did. And then now, now when I put my little, when I say, m3dots.com, when I say my website in my music, it's because I'm only getting less than a penny anytime everybody hear it. So at least if I'm out there putting my music out there, I have to at least somewhat advertise in the song. And Apostle Terrence, we were working on some music together, and he said, look, when you put these songs out, just don't put any don't put any advertisement on it. And I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you think about your art and you don't want to taint it by having an advertisement in it. And I understand that. Like, I get that. But he comes from a different school of thought than I come from. Because his school of thought, you got to understand, he used to speak in front of a church on a regular basis, and so he couldn't get up there in front of everybody and say, hey, y'all, go to my website. You can't make that part of your sermon. So I get that. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of preachers that, I have interacted with, even the ones, I'm going to raise you up and we're going to send you out. They, this church will not be a den of thieves. We will not, because there's a whole bunch of people in the church. Do you know how, listen, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say a little bit, but I'm not going to get into it. There are so many talented, amazing people that are in our churches that because our churches are only really set up to be a place where the pastor is talking and everybody's listening and valuing what the pastor has to say, that the rest of the days of the week, the pastor and everybody who is part of the staff, they're missing out on the 90% of stuff that they could be receiving because they don't add their endorsement on top of those people. In other words, what I'm saying is this: if I'm a pastor, let's say this is the Matt's church, right? The Matthew Church. Let me see. Let's see. What would I call my church? I would call my church Matthew's Church of Messiness and Holiness. That's what I would call my church. Matt's Church of Messiness and Holiness. In other words, come as you are. And if you really a mess, we got clothes in in the other room where we can straighten you up or whatever. Anyway, so Matt's Church of Messiness and Holiness, I will speak, 10% of the time. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it so that everybody in the congregation, I'm gonna give them the ability to speak the other 90% of the time. Because they're bringing me 10% of their income if they're trained. If they're not trained, no big deal. But if they're trained to be tithers, like I'm trained to be a tither, okay, then I am programmed to bring 10% plus an offering and be a cheerful giver. I'm trained like that. I'm trained. You put me in your church, you got 10% coming. That's just the way I'm trained. Because they beat. I mean, will a man rob God? I'm not gonna do that. If I gotta preach them sermons, I will make them, once in a while. But 10% of the time, this is Matt's Church of Messiness and Holiness, right? I will 10% of the time you'll hear from me. But 90% of the time, I will be hearing from everybody in the congregation. In other words, I'm going to let everybody know, hey, you know what? You guys get ready on these particular days. It's your turn to speak. And we're not going to have church just one day out the week. We're going to have the doors open 7 days a week so that people can come and pray if they want to. And the people who are the benefactors, the people who are the tithers, I'm gonna be looking at the books and I'm gonna say, hey y'all been tithing. What y'all got to say? Y'all got something? Yeah, we got some sermons we want to say. Well, guess what? You come up here and now that right there, that feels like pay to play. It feels like pay to play. But guess what? It's my church. Why would I take 10% of all of these people money and never give them any say or any ability to say something? Yes, I know that people got their motives that are corrupt sometimes. So while they're there, we're going to record their sermons, record the video. In other words, they're paying for it. It's my Church of Messiness and Holiness. Yeah, I'm going to have my people I'm going to be training them right but yes, baby. Sorry. She said I'm too loud, so I need to be quiet. Sorry about that. But it's my Church of Messiness and Holiness. So the mugs will I sometimes you have to allow the mess. You know what I'm saying? The wheat and the tares gotta grow together. And so then, you find, when they grow to maturity, it's easy. So then periodically we have to treat the mess like tares and get rid of the mess. And periodically we need to treat the wheat like, and prune and stuff like that. And so the holiness, the wheat, they will expand, and then the mess and the tares will get rid of them, every so often. But you're not gonna get to the good in everybody if you don't accept everybody, the messiness and the holiness. You know what I'm saying? So I would let those that tithe, those that tithe at that, the proper level, so to speak, if that was a big deal to me, which it might not be, but I would take those people and I would make sure that they have their own platforms, no problem, videotape all day videos being made. Just come in whenever you want, book let me know what time you come in, and then they come, and then everybody know how to be a good audience member and laugh at their jokes, even if they're horrible jokes, and pretend that they enjoy the sermons or whatever, and give everybody, there'll be enough money to cut, I could put some food in the back so people can get something to eat and take a break, because listening to sermons all day, because people want to get up there and I let all that stuff go. Hey, no problem. It's messiness and holiness. I let everything that people want to do. But then People that I see that, we know that God is blessing them. There's some Samuels in there. There's some Elishas in there. There's some Nicodemuses in there. So you know what? Give them the same. Hey, you know what? You guys, this y'all gonna do your thing too, and let them whatever. And then whenever it's my turn to speak, obviously I'm gonna speak whatever. I'm gonna do my thing. But while I got that flowing, because when you have everybody else is doing their thing in there, when you got people all doing their thing, they're gonna keep it going for as long as possible. Yeah, you're gonna have some politics. I'm gonna try to cancel out the politics to say, listen, this person paid the most. So he got the most say. I don't like this. How come he got more money? Well, it's ratio. God looks. Yes, you're absolutely right. So here you go. This is your day. Placate everybody. Okay. Placate everybody, dude. That's what you got to do. Let everybody have their say and their venting or whatever. So okay, but then if they're paying me, if I'm their pastor, they're paying me, so I get to just, of course I'm gonna listen to what they got to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure that every week or every month or every, I got a certain amount of hours that I'm gonna be in the office just to have the big line so that they can complain about each other and snap on each other, and I sit there and I listen and write the notes down and say, you got a good point. That's what I would do, right? Make everybody feel heard. Get heard on the mic, and you get heard. Hey, pastor, we want to make a music video. Well, go do it. Here's the camera stuff. Here we go. If they break the camera, go buy another one. Don't get excited. I'm not. Listen, they got smartphones. I'm recording on a smartphone that I bought for $0. I can, if people paying me 10%, I can find a whole bunch of $0 stuff that I can buy in bulk. Make it. Hey, listen now, if you break this camera, it's going to be a big deal. There's, consequences and repercussions or whatever. Oh, Pastor, we lost it. We broke it. We stole the cameras. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, doggone it. No problem. But then I got more sitting in the storehouse. You know what I'm saying? So boom, do that. And then, so that's how I would do my church. That's how I would do it. I would make it. And then by the end of, let's say, 5 years. One more part, right? During that 5 years, I would also be doing my Matt Ellipsis Show, and I'd be doing my albums. Listen, because the harvest is plenty. The laborers are few, but the harvest is plenty. There's too many harvests. So if you got a whole arena full of people, it's so wonderful to speak in front of an arena, to rap in front of an arena, to do comedy in front of an arena. But if you're a preacher and you're preaching to an arena, wait a minute, aren't some of those people just as powerful as you? Are you holding those people back so that you can look good in front of them? I'm not saying anybody just because, but what would happen if you took that all of your equipment that you got for yourself? What would happen if you spent 1 year letting every one person in that arena get on the mic for 1 hour? Give everybody 1 hour for 1 year. And you sit back and you get a percentage off of whatever. You create the opportunities for people that have been created for you. Now you got a whole arena of ministries that you have birthed. But people don't look like that. Because people want it for themselves. They don't want to bless other people, because when other people, they'll run off and do whatever. And but nobody belongs. Jesus, he didn't have a mega ministry. Jesus had 12 people, and one of them was Judas. You know what I'm saying? And Pastor Brian, in the last sermon that he preached, he was talking about, man, he's like, look, by the end of, when Jesus was on the cross, I mean, none of them showed up for they weren't there. They didn't even pray with him. Just, man, ministry, the way we look at it, it's not prim and proper. It's messy. That's why Matt's Church of Messiness and Holiness, I think I'm going to call it that. I think I'm going to make Matt's Church of Messiness and Holiness. You might hear more about that down the road, even if I just make a song about it. Anyway, okay. So back to I was talking about my show, but anyway, the point I'm making about all that is that I'm I'm not relying on. I'm not trying to become famous. I have a ministry that I'm doing, and so as long as the people that need to hear my music hear it, and the people that want to that need to hear what I got to say in the Matt Ellipsis Show or my sermons or whatever I put out, as long as people are getting blessed by that stuff, then that's what matters to me. That's what matters. If somebody comes to me with $1 million deal or sows a whatever, I'll deal with that if it ever comes to that. But right now, nobody has put no bunch of money in my pocket to do music. It has not happened. You know what I'm saying? I have had one person, and that has been that has put the most money invested in my music, and that money is invested. And this year 2020 has really challenged he our relationship, um, because I've been forced to kind of be in this situation, and to me, the seed is still in the ground. And so, when like Pastor Carla said, I'm good ground. And so when he sold that money into me, it's not just the money that he sold, but he also sold a lot of love and care and into me. And so from me, I'm gonna make sure that he gets a return on the investment, and God is, because when you give unto the poor, like myself, you're lending unto the Lord, and He will repay. Okay, so the upcoming performances I got in Joliet, the main one reason why I'm looking forward to being there is because that's where my earliest memories are. I want to see if I can find, if my house, the old house that we used to live at, is still there. Um, uh, I want to see, the school that I was at. I want to see if it's still there. I want to just walk around, go, just be in Joliet just for a day and just videotape and capture some footage and, you know, let my nostalgia run itself. And then the second reason that I'm doing the show in Joliet is it's the only show that I'm doing in Illinois so far this year. I had some other stuff planned, but coronavirus really kind of put the kibosh on some of those plans, or they postponed plans because you know eventually this whole coronavirus stuff will be over. And there are a couple of schools of thought, that maybe maybe everybody taking the vaccination is like a form of the mark of the beast, and that's possible, and maybe uh, maybe there's another view of it that's different than that. Eventually everybody will be able to get back together, but we're definitely in a state where things are different. You know what I'm saying? So I can't rely on um, live performances like I was hoping that I'd be able to rely on live performances. And a lot of people, the live performance industry, wow, has been rough. But there's a lot of people that are like, look, we still believe in it. And my company, Afton, they're like, look, man, we still believe in live shows. People, wearing their masks, they do the heat temperature thing, social distancing. Look, we got to bring live shows back. This is, it's still a threat. We got to do it. So Afton, I made my commitment with them, um, way before coronavirus. At least a year before coronavirus, and I had not. I made my commitment with them, but no, it was about maybe a year and a half. What happened is I joined. They reached out to me. I joined up with them, but I told them, I said, "Yo, the way you're doing it, you're missing out. And I kind of gave my feedback to them, and then they went and they came up with this whole new way of doing it, and then they re-engaged with me about maybe um, 6 months before coronavirus really hit. And so I was like, hey, you know what? Yo, I'm still with you guys. I'm down. Let's do it. And so they got me some gigs, and bless the Lord. But, I really started really gigging with them when coronavirus was hit. So it's like, you know, it wasn't that many people that showed up, but I still got some video footage, and um, I got some shows under my belt with them. So this one, I'm gonna do it, and it's a challenge really to the people in the Chicagoland area, Illinois, that know me and love me and remember me. I used to do a lot of shows back before I got married, and when I got married, I really focused on work and all that other stuff, and that's what ends up happening. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get married, it's no longer about whatever God's will is. That's why Paul was like, "Look, it's better for you to be single." At least it was better for him to be single. But I decided I was gonna do the next of impossible. I was gonna, you know, be a married man and still fulfill God's will for my life. And do you know that it can be done? There are so many people in my life that are fulfilling God's will for their lives while being married and dealing with the challenges of marriage. And believe it or not, your marriage and the difficulties that you have in marriage, they can help you fulfill God's will for your life. And this year for me has proven that, um, you know, I'm 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 gonna fulfill God's will for my life. That's whether I'm married or not married. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, uh, but there's a lot of people that I need to draw the line. I need to say, hey, you like me, you love me, I love you, and we've got this online relationship where we're Facebook friends and whatever else, we know about each other, we like each other's pictures or whatever, but hey, you've known, since I was uh since I came back to Chicago rather, in 1997 or 1998, when 1998 and 1999, that's when Pastor Brian and put me on the mic at church, and it kind of took off from there. You know, I haven't made a lot of opportunities for people to come and put seats and sell tickets and all that other stuff. So okay, I've been doing it now for 20 something years. Now it's 2020. It used to be, this is 1998, when you first heard me. So I got my music on my website for free. So you ain't got to buy nothing. I've got, my sermons and other videos and other performances. Nobody really has to buy anything. So those people that decide, hey, Matt, I am gonna, put some money, into your system, Afton, they did the heavy lifting. So I don't make no bunch of money off of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's worth it to me because, like I said, I'm going there to see my stomping ground, my old, uh, childhood stomping grounds, and to let everybody in Chicagoland area know, hey, you can come see me. This is what I'm doing. I used to be in church. You can come see me at church, but right now, I don't have any churches that are saying, Matt, come perform. In 2020, I had some plans, and each plan in terms of me rapping at a church, it was pushed back, pushed to the side, pushed, to where it don't exist. So Afton said, Matt, we want you. Faith Jam Productions said, Matt, we want you. So those two, if a church says that they want me, then we'll go from there. But right now, the only people that want me is Afton and Faith Jam, And so I got to roll with them because bless the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I'm giving an opportunity, if you want to look at it like that. Hey, if you want to be a part of an event, you come. If you come, I'm gonna say some wonderful things about you on the mic because that's just what I do. And I'm gonna be videotaping it. So when I put the video footage out there, I'm gonna be thanking you for showing up because anybody that buys tickets to buy, to come see me, especially right now, it's like, thank you for doing that. Wow. So that's that. And then if you don't want to make it in person, I am doing an online concert. So if you're really worried about coronavirus, and let me talk about that for a second. Um, if you look at the news, yes, it's scary. I'm scared by looking at the news. And that's why sometimes I have to turn off the news and not look at it because um, I haven't died of coronavirus. I have not gotten coronavirus. You know, um, everything that is recommended, like staying in your house, wearing a mask when you're out there, social distancing, using hand sanitizer, and all the other methods. I've done all of those things, just like many of you have done all those things. Um, you know, but this year we've learned that me, I can do all those things and stay in the house, but there are people that are out there because I need to go and get toilet paper. I need to go and get, you know, oatmeal, uh, and bread, my $1 bread. You know what I'm saying? Um, there are people who go out every day, they social distance, wear their mask, and they're working a job. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, like I was talking with Lysandra, and she was like, "Why are you gonna do a show? Uh, it's dumb of you to do it." So she basically let me know that that she and her and her tribe members, that they were not going to be at the show. Um, and I understand that, but it's like, you're downing me for doing a show during the time period that we got a pandemic, but did you go out and vote? Meaning that there were people who during the coronavirus time period, they ran a whole election that had, I want to say it was like 80 million people voted for one person, voted for Biden, and 70 million or so voted for Donald Trump. I think I might have the numbers wrong, but anyway, the Trump and Biden got the most votes of any president in history. Those two individuals got the most votes. Donald Trump got more votes than any other president in history except for Joe Biden. Joe Biden got the most votes. So these two people, they caused the most people in America to ever go do one thing, go vote, to happen. There were people who had to work and receive those votes. So did you get it? And I'm saying it's not to Lysandra. I'm saying this, I'm saying this about her, but I'm saying this to anybody. There, if you're afraid of the coronavirus and stuff like that, I understand it because what you listen on TV, they are filling us with the fear. We are getting the fear. I got the fear too. Everybody got the fear. But you know what? When fear comes, what are us people who are Bible believers? I know how I deal with fear. You know, um, I know when I'm scared of some stuff, um, there's a bunch of scriptures that talk about fear not. You know, there's stuff in the Bible that gives us a way that we can deal with fear if we're Bible believers. You know what I'm saying? And Lysandra happens to be somebody that she's been going to church probably just as long as I have been. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, how is it that you are so afraid of coronavirus? And I'm not saying you shouldn't be, because I'm not saying I'm not. But you still leave your house to go to the grocery store. How come you're not snapping on all these people for not making sure you got groceries? No, you need your groceries. So, hey, I'm being safe for myself and I'm making sure I don't catch coronavirus. I'm staying in my house. But when I go outside, somebody better be at Walmart. Somebody better be at McDonald's. Somebody better be at all these places that I need to get my stuff. And those people, but so, when she was saying that to me about, I didn't even have the conversation about what I'm saying to you right now. But Matt, you having a show on such and such, you know, hey, yeah, I'm having a show. All right. If you don't see the hole in your logic, because how did you make it to November without going to the grocery store, without getting gas, without going to go vote? How did you make it to this time period just staying in your house, only talking on the phone? How did you do it? You didn't. Everybody had to go out at least, to go vote, to go to the grocery store. You at least had to do one, if not both of those things during the past during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So me doing a show, I'm just trying to, get some type of semblance of normalcy, and I'm trying to do my part. You know what I'm saying? Because all those people that made it so that I could vote, all them people who made it so I can go to the grocery store and get my oatmeal and my dollar loaf of bread, um, those people, they braved the pandemic way more than I have. Do you know what I'm saying? So you could almost say that they put their lives on the line so I can get my dollar bread and my oatmeal, and put their life on the line so that I could vote. You could almost say that. So everybody, America is about all of us sharing risk. That's the reason why insurance is mandatory. Car insurance is mandatory, is because we all have to share the risk of driving on these roads that are risky. You could have an accident. And, a lot of people were driving around with no insurance. So they made it mandatory so that now everybody shares the risk. If you get into an accident, or if somebody hits, if there's an accident and you're hurt or you hurt somebody, the presumption is at least everybody was mandated to have insurance. So it can be taken care of. The main reason that Obamacare exists, it was a Republican plan. That plan, Romney implemented it in Michigan. It was called Romney Care or whatever, right? But that was a Republican plan to make it so that the same way that car insurance was mandated, same way with health insurance. We're gonna spread the risk of everybody getting sick, because people going to the emergency room and not paying their doctor bills. So if everybody's mandated to have insurance, then at least things can be taken care of. And I know there's political disagreements about that, and I got my own disagreements. I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. I didn't want nobody. I don't want to. You can get in trouble. You get SR22. You get a ticket, get in trouble for not having car insurance. It's if we don't like it for health insurance, then we shouldn't like it for car insurance either. Make it so that nobody. Let it be the Wild West again. No car insurance, no health insurance. It's mandated. It's mandated. Well, it's my individual freedoms. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, if you don't want it for healthcare like that, because you don't like Obama, or you don't like it to your individual freedoms, and Obamacare is worse than slavery. If you feel that way, then do the same thing. Try to do the same thing with car insurance. So that way nobody has to have car insurance. I would love to not have to have car insurance. My car right now is sitting. Even when my car is sitting, I got to pay car insurance. So make my health insurance bill go down so that I don't have to get that. Do the same thing with car insurance so that there's no car insurance. So it's not mandated. And I'm safe. I don't get into no accidents. You know, I ain't been in an accident in years. But yeah, but you can have an accident. I know. But it's the same thing. I get sick too. You know? So, or you get sick. All I'm saying is that, you know, people who are out there, uh, uh, thank you. People who made sure that I had my groceries, people who made sure I could vote. Thank you for your sacrifice. Um, those people who deliver food. Think about that. People who deliver food, DoorDash and Postmates and other entities that, man, you know what I'm saying? They bringing you your food. You see what I'm saying? That's why my friend Lysandra, that's why it's like her thoughts are, in my mind, it's selfish for her to feel that way. Do you know what I'm saying? It's selfish for her to say that. You know, if you don't want to go because you got personal reasons, because you don't like me, or you don't, want to support me on that, that's one thing. But don't treat it like it's coronavirus when you had to vote this year, or you had to get groceries. Now, if you stayed in your house, you didn't vote and you don't got groceries, then, that's one thing. But if you voted and you went out to go get groceries at least one time during these past 9 months, me, coming to an event, to hear me do a performance and honor the people who show up there with my performance, that's not that big of a stretch. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? So, um, so yeah. So I'm putting the challenge out there, because if people are too afraid to go out during the pandemic for a show, that's cool, right? So that's why I set up the online show. So now, if the pandemic is too much, I got a live stream show. I'm doing that on the 2nd of January, and that is I want to say that I saw the price for that. I think it's like $3 per person or whatever. So, so both of those sets of tickets are online right now. So if you go to my website, you should be able to see those out there. So now I put that off my list, and so the next thing I want to mention is Conclave Download Records. That you know I am giving out record deals now. Okay. Um, During my performance in Joliet on the 6th of December at the Forge, and during my live stream, I'm gonna be mentioning and honoring some of the people that are now part of Conclave Download Records. And so uh, I'm gonna talk about them, and I'm gonna start, sharing some of their music and sharing stuff like that. So 2021, I'm gonna be really, uh, you know, making so that some of the people that are kind of been on my label, that have been, you know, kind of sitting, waiting for their stuff to come out. Now I'm gonna kind of be able to share with everybody, because you know so along with that is, I do have a new album coming out. The name of it is going to be the name of it is Son of Rocco. And so I'm gonna have it set up so that you can pre-order it, um and people that pre-order the album, I'm going to, you when you pre-order it, I'm gonna make it so that you can send me a message, things that you want me to say on my album, things that you want me to do, uh, you're gonna have the opportunity to help me craft the album if you pre-order it. And if you send me some pictures and or video, whatever you send me, I'm gonna try to incorporate that into some of the music video footage if you pre-order. Now listen, you gotta understand, my album is gonna come out. I'm probably gonna put a lot of the music into Spotify. I doubt if I'm gonna put all of it into Spotify, iTunes, and all whatever, because like I said, it only yields a spin, doesn't even get me a whole penny. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that that's unprofitable. Like I said, it puts me at the table, but I'm no longer gonna be you know uh, putting my pearls before swine. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of pearls out there, and just like like I said, you can look me up and you can see all all the pearls that I got out there. But you know, there are certain albums that they're gonna be reserved for my website or reserved for people that want it, and whether they buy it or whether I give it to them, however it comes out, I'm the whole world doesn't have to hear it. I'm only focusing on like my demographic. I'm only focusing on those people that want to hear my voice, those people that are called to my voice and what I got to say. Those are the people I'm focusing on, and those people. Whether you join me, whether you connect with me on Facebook, or whether you connect with me on all these other social media outlets, however you do that, um, that's the way I'll be able to get back with you, on this content. So, um, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that my album Son of Rocco, I'm gonna put that out, um, and that album I will talk more about it later. But that album is gonna not only be a launch pad for many of the Conclave Download artists that are already on my team, but it's also a way for me to publicly introduce, reintroduce myself to everyone. You know what I'm saying? This album, I'm gonna do as much of the promotion. I don't look at it as an album where I'm gonna make millions and millions of dollars. I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. But I have two children, and um, I want to make it so that they benefit. And so, any money that I make from this album, it goes towards, the ministry efforts and stuff like that. I got to pay for certain things that, websites and computers and electricity. I got to pay for stuff, obviously. So I'm going to make sure my infrastructure is good and make sure that I can, do what I need to do musically and artistically and sermon wise and podcasting and all that other stuff, radio. I'm gonna make sure that stuff works on my low budget. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a oatmeal eating, putt putt driving, uh, low expense having type of guy. I do not live above my means. So you're not gonna really ever see me flossing like people do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got my $12. I ain't trying to show everybody my $12. um. But anyway, besides that, um, so I'm gonna be doing that. But I've got children that I want to take care of, and I want to be able to make sure that they're straight, and I want them to know that the music I'm doing, that it's for them. So, if let's say I made, $50,000, which, that would be more money than I've ever made from my album. That's not more money I've ever made in my life. But let's say from just my music efforts, let's say $50,000 came in. That would make it so that, obviously I can take care of my ministry music stuff, but then I can do something for my children, because they've had a rough 2020, and it's not easy being the son or daughter of of me, Matthew. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's not easy, and that's why the album Son of Rocco, it's been a blessing to be my father's son, and so I'll get into that and the concept of the album, but it's a way for me to, number one, uh, launch and be a blessing to many of the people who've been a blessing to me, and number two, it's a way for me to honor my children and give my children the rightful place in my ministry and in my life, to let them know that, hey, children, uh, this is all yours. This, I'm I have not been able to monetize it for myself. So, children, you guys are young enough. If you grow up and you see the value in this, the same way that, like Martin Luther King's family, they look over his legacy, and so whenever you want to use, Martin Luther King Jr. stuff, you got to get in touch with them, and they let you know the cost or whatever else. I need to set my children up so that they are, taken care of in that respect, because, you know, they got to make their own life. But for me, um, my life, I need to sow into their lives, and so, uh, you know, that's why. So that's the second reason. So the third reason is the people who decide they want to pre-order, the people who want to sow into my ministry, the people who want to reap from my ministry, the people who want to be a part of it and speak and whatever. I want to give all of them opportunities to, you know, from my little the best, since I'm gonna do this for myself anyway. It might as well be a blessing to my singers and rappers that are on my team, and the preachers that are on my team. It might, and the podcasters that are on my team. It might as well be a blessing to my children, and it might as well be a blessing to anybody who wants to contribute to making this album be successful. I want to, get your thoughts so that we can execute it. You know what I'm saying? I've got a big plan for this album. I'm not worried about how much money it makes. I'm not. I'm not. I'm really more concerned about the impact of it. I want it to go to everyone that it possibly can go. And God gave me a strategy. He gave me a mindset. He gave me a blueprint, and I intend to follow that blueprint to the letter, as much as I can. And thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to do this. So, the Son of Rocco, or Son of Rocco, that's going to be the name of the album. So look out for that. It's gonna be officially be released in 2020. Um, I'm sorry. It's gonna be officially released in 2021, but I'm gonna start the pre-order, immediately, and give people opportunity to be a part of that album process, because I've been making albums for years. You know what I'm saying? So I know my process. I know how to do everything. And now I do everything myself. I do from start to finish, mix, master. I do everything now. So bless the Lord. I don't have to wait on anybody else or pay anybody else, because I've already prepaid everything. I have invested in, no one has invested in me more than me. And I think that's one of the challenges with record deals, is that a lot of times people are looking for someone else to invest in them rather than them investing in themselves. And so throughout the past 20 something years, I was thinking that, Pastor so and so, or Apostle so and so, or Bishop so and so, I was looking at those people that we were looking for their approval. You know, they they kind of set it up like that. They made it so that we would look to them to be for, hey, we're gonna lay hands on you, we're gonna send you. They put that expectation there, but they never fulfilled it, and probably because God did not want them to fulfill it. He would, like with Melchizedek, he said, Abraham had Melchizedek to sow into or to give money to. And it made it so that no man on earth could ever say that they are the ones that brought him forth. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing. So I got that. So I don't have any ill will about anybody because no one can say that they put me. My website, I've been paying for m3dots.com ever since the beginning. No one has given me any money to pay for the website. No one has bought any of my beats, other than just this time that I bought. We got a beat on a deal on some beats, and I told my singers, I told Nick, and one of my other team members, I said, look, I ain't got the money, but this is something that I think that we should do. And they were like, no problem, Matt. So they, pulled up, and it was what I asked them to do was only $27 each. You know what I'm saying? And so we ended up getting, we got a. Let me see if I can look at that. I don't have the original. Okay, I might have. I'm finna just let you hear what I did. We got. Oh, it's not here. Based on the advertisement. Oh, maybe I can look at the advertisement. Look at the advertisement that I sent. Where is Nick Skinner? Okay, here we go. So Nick Skinner, I sent him the thing. Okay, look. The guy says that this is more than a $6,138 value, and we bought it for $27. I got something that was over $6,000 for $27. You know what I'm saying? Now, in another part of this, he said something about 18,000. Let me see. Here it is. This one, it says get $8,135 worth for just $27. Meaning that he explained everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot with a little. So I don't need no whole bunch of. I'm not trying to be, in debt to nobody. If you put $100 into me, I make that $100 go far, very far. You know what I'm saying? And you'll find out when you get into, my record company and the record deal that I'm offering to people, you'll find out that I have done a lot. I have invested in myself so much that I can't use it all myself. That's how much I've invested in myself. And if don't nobody else take, ain't no big deal. Nobody's stopping me. My last album I put out there was a 50-song album. I can do this by myself, no problem. But God set it up. He said, Matt, now you can be a blessing to other people. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal. So the record deal, so I talked a little bit about that. The Travis Bass show is coming. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna try to wrap this up here in a few minutes here. Okay. The Travis Bass show is coming. Get ready for that. Travis and I, we've been working together now for over a year at least, and what I'm gonna start doing throughout 2021 is I've been capturing audio and video with Travis Bass. He's one of my friends from Tomah. He is now a content creator and part of my broadcasting entity. And what we decided we're gonna do is we're gonna make some content related to his life. Um, he has been dealing with a marriage tough marriage. His situation it's unbelievable. And so what I'm gonna do, and what we covenanted to do is we're going to talk about some of the things that he has gone through, not for exploitation's sake. At least I don't plan on exploiting him. Okay. Um, Things that he has gone through, what I've learned is that I've gone through the same thing in my own scenario. And that many, many men throughout America have gone through things that Travis has gone through and things that I've gone through. And um, men, uh, good men, the goal of what I'm going to be doing with the Travis Bass Show and his interactions with the Matt Ellipsis Show, and the way that I'm going to utilize the content that we've created together. The way that I'm going to use that is to there's a certain group of people that are called to hear this stuff, because men, there are a lot of good men that are with women who are not the best type for them. They're not the best. And unfortunately for Travis, Travis is a good man who has been, um, who has given his heart and given his love to a woman that does not appreciate the value of a good man like Travis. So, um, this is not a way to demean all women, because there's how, out of all the men that are in America, what percentage of men are good men? So whatever that percentage is, that you in your heart, as my listener, would say, this is how many good men out of 100% of 330 million Americans that are men, whatever the percentage that are men, only such and such amount percentage are actually good men. So out of those good men, those men, a lot of times, women who they don't always get with good women. They get with women who don't appreciate them, women who treat them bad, women who abuse them verbally, spiritually, emotionally, sometimes physically. You know, uh, and those men, um, every generation, these men, good men, who were raised well, or who, have a good mind, that either God has blessed them or people have invested in making sure that these people are good men, they end up with horrible, horrible women. And those, whatever percentage of women in America are considered horrible women, that's the percentage that those that horrible women, they need to get with horrible men. They don't need to get with good men. Good men and good women, those they should get together. And so that's what I'm working on, with Travis, is to help men identify these are the traits of bad women. You can see it, you know them by their fruit. You can pick it up, you can find out some of the fruit right in high school. Sometimes you can find it out even before they're in high school. But definitely by the time they're in high school, there's certain fruit of certain women that are, yes, not saying that in high school that's a place where a lot of people, that's when they start their relationship career. Having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, going to prom. High school is, unfortunately, to some, is designed as a way to hook people up. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I found I found my wife in high school. Thank God. I found my wife in high school. So I understand what it means. I understand it. And so if God was with me even before I had professed Jesus as my Lord and Savior, if he gave me my wife in high school, and many people have a high school sweetheart that they're still with, or that they came back to, or whatever, um, if God was with me even at that point, then I can trust that the content that I'm putting out, it's not for everybody. It's for those who specifically are called to hear what I got to say. So as I put this content out regarding Travis Bass and stuff like that, you will know from this recording, and you'll know that as it gets out there, you'll know that the root of it is I am working towards being a blessing to good men and good women, and I am trying to ensure that bad men and bad women, that they get together, and good men do not get with bad women. That's my goal with this. You know, good women not getting with bad men, you know, maybe I can help with that. But the Travis Bass show is specifically about men, good men. Okay, and I'm sure that I can't do everything. I'm only responsible for what I'm responsible for. Okay, and my son is older than my daughter, you know, and so I need to make sure that my son understands the traits of a quality good woman, you know, uh, and so some people would say, "Oh, the Proverbs 31 woman," you know. But I've learned that the Proverbs 31 woman is really a metaphor for the body of Christ, or for the church. And so maybe it is a woman, maybe it is, but I stopped looking at it that way because um, I'm part of the body of Christ, and I want to do my part on that respect. But you know, um, all right, so that's that. So Travis Bass show is coming. All right, my best friend Ramel. He's one of my best friends. He's the person. He's the first. He's uh, the first person. Uh, when I went to before I went to the military, my best friend, his name was Jerry. Jerry committed suicide before I graduated high school, and since that time, there's only been one person that I've ever called my best friend, and that was Ramel. And Ramel was the best man at my wedding, and his speech, his speech at my wedding is so powerful that I'm gonna do an episode of my show just about his speech, because his speech at my wedding is it's like my entire ministry. Um, uh, uh, you know, his speech is the frame is almost like the framework of my entire ministry. It's crazy. And so he and I, we've maintained contact over the years, and um, I believe that based on um, things that we've talked about, it looks like the Matt Ellipsis Show is going to have its own bucket on Roku. He's got a channel, and I believe that channel is active, if I'm not mistaken. And so I have not yet put my content on there, but my intention is that by the end of this year, based depending on how he's got some things he's got to do logistically to make everything work, but I'm getting all my content set up so that by at some point in 2021, the Matt Ellipsis Show will be on Roku. Now, whether it means that I have my own channel, or whether it means I have a bucket on a channel, whatever that means, that's what it means. Matt Ellipsis Show on Roku is coming. Okay, so get ready for that. Um, all right, let me see here. I am retired from the Army now, so I get to put all the things that I've been trained to do. I get to put it into my ministry and put it into my work, and I'm grateful to God. So that's all I'll say about that. There's more I could say. Um, I'll talk about the first data error and second data error. I'll do that in another recording. Um, I'm still in Tomah. So Tomah, Wisconsin. Fort McCoy is right next to Tomah. Uh, Tomah is directly east of Fort McCoy, or east, southeast, whatever. It's east or south depending on which way you're looking. But I look at it as east. Um, I was not anticipating being in Tomah for this long. I was not. Okay. When I retired from the military, I had in my mind, that I was going to be back in Illinois, but I'm not in Illinois at the moment. I do plan to be in Illinois at some point, but the way things are going, um, I've got my, where I live at. I still live in Tomah, and I started in 2019. I had I started a radio station and a TV station, and the TV station was a soft, quiet opening, and the radio station I intended to have a grand opening. So I did the grand opening at the 31st of December of 2019 and the 1st of January 2020, but um, circumstances made it so that I was not able to fully capitalize financially, or I wasn't able to financially capitalize off of all the energy and promotion efforts that I put into that into that grand opening. I wasn't able to capitalize off of it at all. So I didn't go back to square one. I just did not vocalize my anger and my upsetness at how um, 2020 began for me. I did not vote. I hunkered down. I let my content be there. I let the fire kind of, I let the promotion just be what it was. People that reached out to me, I gave them the information that they needed, the love, and I thanked them for the love and support. And I did a couple of, I did an event in Toma. I we put it on the calendar, and I still did it. It was right before the pandemic, so I kept I maintained a lot, even though um, I wasn't able to capitalize off everything. But I learned, I gained more. So by the end of this year, I have so much more in terms of raw materials for what I'm doing. Like I just told you about the, you know, $27, and I got a whole bunch of new instrumentals. Yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that if everything that would have went the way that I wanted with my TV station and radio station, if all that stuff would have went the way that I wanted it to go, I still could have got that deal. So it's not, whatever. But what happened, and this is prophetically speaking, um, there was a guy in Toma who, and I have all this stuff recorded. So I did an interview with these people, and so I have this content that I'm going to be putting out. But anyway, he he had he started a radio station. God told him to start a radio station, and I was talking with the DJ, or the one of the people who was on the station, the main guy who was on the station, the main personality. And he said that the guy did not finish what God wanted him to do before he died. And so he explained to me what he was supposed to do, or the vision God gave him. And before this interview, God had told me the same stuff. Everything he said that God told him to do, God had put on my to-do list to do. And I was like, okay, thank you, Lord. So I started my radio station in Toma, and I started my TV station in Toma, and it's been very low key, but it's there. And obviously, radio to some people is terrestrial radio, meaning you can turn it on the turn it on the actual air radio. But you know, how many people are still doing that? When you think about you as a listener, do you go to the radio every day for certain things, or do you go to YouTube? Do you go to um, the internet for certain things? Which one, or do you go to satellite radio? You know, um, so think about where you get the stuff that you like to watch or you like to listen to, and think about how you do that, and then that's what I have to do too. I've got to do that same thing. So terrestrial radio, I'm not worried about that. If I get terrestrial radio, fine, but I'm not starting. I get more. I get more from being on my website m3dots.com and being on Anchor FM, which puts my podcast in all of the outlets. So I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm good to go. I have to see how the recent acquisition. So, there was some company that just bought Anchor FM. I don't know. I think it might have been Spotify. I can't remember who it was, but somebody just bought. Let me look that up real quick, just so I have it. Let's see. Who purchased Anchor? Who bought Anchor.fm? Let me see. Spotify spent a little bit less than $340 million to buy Gimlet and Anchor. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? So my podcast is on Anchor, and so that's a big deal for me to figure out how I fit into that. And they did that in 2019. Uh, so I got to figure out how my stuff, my content, or whatever. Because if it's just better for me to go on my website, cool. But some of my stuff is gonna be whatever. Anyway, that's whatever. Anyway, so um, my radio station in Tomah, my TV station in Tomah, they are there. You'll hear more about that or whatever. But I also have my ministry headquarters is now in Georgia, now in Atlanta. So I'm. What does that mean? It means I'm gonna be traveling, back and forth. It means I'm gonna be traveling throughout the United States whenever I can, whenever those opportunities arise. Right now I've got some plans, but as it stands, thank God I got a small little office in the Atlanta area where I'm able to broadcast from, make my content, um, publish it, record, think, pray, be in the middle of, what I'm saying? So having my little spot in Tomah and having my little spot in Atlanta, thank God. I thank God because, you know, I got a lot of stuff to do, and sometimes all it takes is having a good night's sleep, and then I can get up, make my coffee and my oatmeal, and put my little content together. You know what I'm saying? Um, and also let me just say this about radio. When I first started podcasting in 2015, no, 2013, 14, um, I used to write scripts for myself, and I sucked, boy. I really did. And I got on the phone with one of my friends yesterday, Ruben Morales. Me and him, we worked together at a factory in Tomah, and um, we stay in touch with each other on Instagram. And he said, "Man, I looked at some of your videos, man." And he said, "Man, you got some good stuff, man. You're really good, You're really good. And I told him, I said, look, I said, I talked to God in 2017. I said, Lord, if I could get paid to run my mouth all day, I would be very happy because I'm not really good at a lot of other stuff. I mean, I've had to really learn that lesson. When I was working at that factory, um, they got rid of me at the factory, and I'm not upset, because obviously, I want to do whatever it is God wants me to do with my life. And a lot of times, a company, I remember one of my supervisors. She was not my supervisor. This particular supervisor, uh, this is what she said. She said, "Hmm, what was that? Who was that? Is that anybody? I'm sorry, I just got a next in the tag. Okay, so I don't know who that. I don't know what that was. Okay. Um, Sorry about that. I got distracted. I'm looking at my content at the same time. And somebody sent a message on Facebook. So okay. So anyway, she said this. She said, all these people, they need to be lucky that they got a job. They need to be lucky that they got a job. They should be lucky they got a job. She's a supervisor. And she's been working at that job for years. And, my father, this is how he raised me. Any job is lucky to have me. And when you have both of those two type of ideologies, you know, there's gonna be some friction because I didn't walk around haughty. I never walked around haughty or proud or ego or nothing like that. But you know, I've been in the military for my entire adult life, and I made it to the rank of master sergeant, and I'm a retired master sergeant. You know, um, and the way that factory ran itself, the way that factory ran, there was a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. By different people, and that place could have benefited from having a union up in there. I know there's a lot of people who don't like unions, you know, but I tell you one thing: if a union was in there, a lot of the stuff that was going on and a lot of the way that they treated people, they wouldn't treat them like that. There were people who were being sexually, um, uh, I'm not gonna get into it. There's a lot of people who was going through some hard times, and the management that they knew it, and the management was basically sanctioning for evil stuff to go on. Evil from my view. It might not be evil from other people's view, but a lot of people, evil is evil. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, my supervisor, me and her had we had a scenario, and I bless God for that scenario because it let me know that unless I am willing to um, uh, unless I'm willing to give up my dignity, which I'm not, I need to sit in the house and I need to work on my content. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently I got issues in terms of certain people's mindset. And if that's the case, that's just the case. You know what I'm saying? Bless the Lord. But, for those people that are called to hear my voice and called to, be a part of what I'm doing, hey, they love what I do. But people who like my supervisor, I'm so sorry. I'm happy that I'm in this scenario. So now, I got like I said, I got my little headquarters location. So, the stuff that I'm working on, I have a strategy and a plan for being a blessing to people throughout America. My website, m3dots.com. It's not that difficult to get in touch with me, and listen to my music. You go on YouTube, you can just type in Matt Ellipsis, and then you can see all my content. You can type me into Google and Matt Ellipsis, and you got all kind of stuff there. And Facebook, friend me. You'll see some of my content on Facebook. I haven't put a lot on Facebook, but I put enough there that you know what I do. Um, so as I move into 2021 and get ready for this next album, Son of Rocco, you're gonna see, a little bit of more information about my radio and TV station, as well as, my Atlanta plans, as well as, things I got to do. So anyway, blah. Um, that pretty much runs everything. That's pretty much everything I was gonna say. Um, I got about less than 15 minutes left, and this is what I'll say. Um, with terrestrial radio, I used to listen to right wing talk radio as well as music radio that had rap and jazz and R&B and um, you know um, so Tom Joyner morning show. I used to listen to that. Steve Harvey show. I used to listen to that. Um, Ricky Smiley show. I listened to that. Who else? Um, Dang, what was the guy's name? They said he had Eisenhower head. Shoot, I'll remember. Doug Banks. Doug Banks. I used to listen to Doug Banks. I used to listen to uh, Don Wade and Roma. I don't know if Roma is still alive, but I know that Don Wade, he passed away, which is why the show ended, or they decided to end the show after that. Um, I used to listen to Rokon and Gary Meyer, and then Rokon when he was by himself, and then Roe and Roper. Uh, I used to listen to Rush Limbaugh's show and Sean Hannity on radio, Mark Levin on radio. When Rachel Maddow, when she started her show, when they had Air America, I listened to that, and I don't think she does radio anymore. I think she just does TV. I've heard Laura Ingraham before she was on TV. Um, what's that guy's name overnight? Let me see. Art Bell. I think it's Art Bell. That overnight show where they were talking about UFOs and stuff like that. And uh, man, I listened to a lot of talk radio. And I would be driving all night, driving up to Fort McCoy for work. And so I wouldn't always listen to music. I'd be listening to talk radio and whatever's on, and I'm grateful because this space that I'm in now, where I can record, I was able to, with no problem, talk for 3 hours, and I couldn't do that years ago. You know, I wasn't competent to do that. I just was good at making my lyrics, but I started my podcast in 2013 because I wanted to come from behind the lyrics and talk. And now that we are in this time period where, you know, being a podcaster is almost like mandatory. It's like, you got to have a website, you got to have a podcast, you got to have, you know, Instagram account, a Twitter account. You got to have all these different things just to do anything really. Now that we're in that space, it feels good to be able to, drop 3 hours and it not be a big deal. So, anyway, thank you for listening. Good morning. Thank you for listening to the Matt Ellipsis Show. You know, uh, I'm gonna put a song after my content is over, after I finish speaking here. But happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope that your holiday is great. Why you go? Why you go? Why you gotta be loud here?
Did you get into the cake?
Yeah, but I haven't eaten it yet.
That it was not supposed to be open until Thanksgiving. What?
It is Thanksgiving.
Dinner.
Thanksgiving dinner. Should I wait? I haven't eaten yet.
Why would you do that?
It's either this or oatmeal. So wait a minute. Do I add this to my podcast? This little rant that you just should this be the end of the podcast?
Yes, that should be the
this
end.
Is the end. This is the end of the episode. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Do you want to?
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Have a good one.
Stop by to Chicago Heights and join me for service at CCI. If you are in need of the sun, I know him. If you are looking for the sun, I'll show him. Stop by to Chicago Heights and join me for service at CCI. If you are in need of the sun, I know him. If you are looking for the sun, I'll show him. Stop by to Chicago Heights and join me for service at CCI. Who's a sent one? You's a sent one on a mission with the big guns. Did you know that? Full of this treasure. Measure your faith by endeavors. He that winneth souls is considered clever. Whenever wisdom recounted him out, and he surmounted the task and blasted it out the water. What is your name? Brother, you got favor. Fruit-bearing tree got flavor. Introduced me to the savior. No holes in your game, lifesaver. Broadcast the news, Dane Rather. Rather, I have a new perspective on matters. Old mindsets been shattered like glass. I used to be a pig boy, but now I'm out my slop and I'm rolling with the big boys. Put a mic in my hand and turn the volume to 10 and now testify across the land. If you are in need of the sun, I know him. If you are looking for the sun, I'll show him. Stop by to Chicago Heights and join me for service at CCI. If you are in need of the sun, I know him. If you are looking for the sun, I'll show him. Stop by to Chicago Heights and join me for service at CCI. I don't think they heard me said I'm wordy, but this track is dirty. Had to turn and say, who's that? Rewind that jump back and turn it up and relax and intake the mediator's monologue, subject matter, reconciliation, evangelism, living this thing, not just talking like Changlin Bang, no ifs, ands, just butt kicking. What? Listen to the lyricist so he can give you words alive. World system try to issue slurs that blind. But player any times I'm the church you find. Bumping my sounds, bald head thinking the rounds. Stomping the ground, in prayer, putting it down. You're supposed to be the green light to go to enlist the soldier, rev your motor skills. It'll be noticeable when that hoe gets filled by your living water geyser. Tap with the spigot, your homie, let's kick it, just hop in the ride. Building a rapport, asking what they on the earth for. Open up the door for. If you are in need of the sun, I know him. If you are looking for the sun, I show him. Stop by to Chicago Heights and join me for service at CCI. If you are in need of the sun, I know him. If you are looking for the sun, I'll show him. Stop by to Chicago Heights and join me for service at CCI. Who's battling for fattest beat? Battling rapid, the fattest speech. Homer, please. God could bring a G to his knees with the sneeze that heal his venereal disease. And the breeze give him eternal lasting, internal peace, and make him wiser than a doctorate degree. Jesus is the bomb digger. Who's bigger? I'd rather be employed by a master builder, always on the move. Even if I'm exiled, I'm building lies while you're trying to build your empire. Your verses need texture, not empty lyricism over empty rhythms. When the spirit is moving, you can be in tune and sync like God's image. CCI, M3 Dots Radio. It's easy for you to know him. It's easy for you to know him.